Lonnie, you want to autograph that?
Going all at once, huh?
Yeah, well, just forward enough time. Whatever's easiest on you. I'm getting a big one. That it? Yep. That's the other one. See. Recent. Right. In fact, there's some stuff in there to sign after the meeting, you know. That's a Ellie Durkis, Ducros. Services. Replaced the lead in front of the truck. I'll get the AC never looked at it. Gotta get the AC looked at.
I'm hanging in.
I'm funny.
Made it today.
Hey there.
Is it in here? Is it up? Yeah. It's up.
See you
I'll
again.
come in.
Ring a bell.
It was a belt, that was false.
Thank you. Stuff, please.
No,
No,
looking up.
okay. Not the lack of, thinking them out.
Christmas singles.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna, you know, it's cooked right. And they're cooked, so I don't want to cook those beans. So these shrubs is, basically segregated.
Yes. Heels.
Just.
Property.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Morning, everybody. If you please silence your phones. Thank you. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Galveston County Consolidated Drainage District on November 14th, 2023 at 8 a.m. at the district's office located at 1605 Whitaker Drive, Bridgewood, Texas. Call the meeting to order. Invocation, and please stay standing as we do the pledge of allegiance. Father, thank you for this opportunity to serve the city of Brentwood. Most importantly, to serve you. Throughout this meeting, guide our thoughts, our actions, and our words to be more like what you want us to be. In Christ's name, I pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Playing catch up.
Morning, Sam. Item 4, citizens' comments. Members of the public are invited to give comments at this time. Last and no. Comments may be general in nature, and may address a specific agenda item, should be directed at the entire board. Is there anybody that'd like to address the board? Yes, sir.
Can I share something with y'all? Well, this is something, we get a lot of information from our legislative consultants, the attorneys, the Association of Water Board Directors, GCCDD. And I was looking at our last meeting, as we were posting bylaws, and just thought I'd share it with y'all. Y'all may know this or maybe not. Anyway, it's titled Fees of Office and Reimbursements. A director is entitled to fees of office of not more than $150 a day for each day the director actually spends performing the duties of a director. Performing the duties of a director means substantive performance of the management or business of the district, including participation in board or committee meetings involving the substantive deliberation of district business and the pertinent education and pertinent education matters. Performing the duties of director does not include routine or ministerial activities such as execution of documents, self-preparation for meetings, or other activities requiring a minimal amount of time. Anyway, y'all probably already know that. I just wanted to share that in case somebody hadn't heard that before.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to address the board? Kathy, we're gonna need more of these in our drawers.
Yeah.
I'm on my last one. Thank you. Item 5, our discussion and action items, item 5A. Review and take action on Friendswood Trails, section 3A, 4A, final drainage plan, LJA engineering. I hear motion. Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Should be unanimous. Item B, review and take action on City of Friendswood 16-inch transmission line phase 1A final drainage plan, LJA engineering. I hear motion. Motion. So I've got a motion, a second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Should, all those opposed, should be unanimous. Item C, review and take action on Friendswood Trails, City of Friendswood 16-inch water line phase 1B final drainage plan, LJA engineering. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Got a second? Second. Got a motion, a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, show it to be unanimous. D, review and take action on 3217 FM 517 preliminary drainage plan, Lentz Engineering. Do I hear a motion? Motion, discussion. Do I have a second? Second. Go ahead, Rusty, you get the floor.
Hey, Joseph, so on this, I noticed where y'all comment, no future development is planned. We've talked about this. So what do you envision or what do you see being planned out there for development? And if it is planned, what's our recourse for altering that flow or transmission line of the water coming in to our facility?
For them to do anything, correct me if I'm wrong, if they do any kind of improvements on like that impervious cover or whatever, they're gonna have to have their own detention basin for that. Correct. This here is for the
undeveloped flow to drain it. So somehow their drainage got blocked out there, and this alleviates it. So,
and it's been a while back, but they brought it to the board and stuff, and we discussed it, and that's the only thing that they can drain into that Madera Regional Pond is that flow there that got blocked.
I just want to make sure we've discussed this plenty, to make sure if there is future development though, and for some reason it requires a bigger line or some different alterations in this, that we account to do that.
They will have to outfall into Coyote Creek.
Okay.
and this doesn't drain their entire property, just
Right.
just a portion of it that.
We talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give kudos to Scott and Joseph. Because the way they came at us, they were implying it was our fault throughout that process. And nice work, gentlemen. That's right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Item E, review and take action on Legacy Street dedication, Legacy Drive Street.
Correct.
Okay,
See it? Like
dedicate, yeah, I know. It seems redundant.
street dedication phase one.
Street, there you go, comma. Now I can read it right. Legacy Drive, street dedication phase one, preliminary plat LJ. Planning and landscape architecture. Do I hear a motion? Motion to approve. Any discussion?
Scott, on these three streets, these two streets coming up right here. We're making sure we have the proper, of course, I'm not an engineer like you, but that's, it's just, we're making sure, of course, that we've dealt with some of this drainage off these streets before. We have the proper,
Correct. So this is just preliminary plat, right? That their DIA, I think, still has to be approved,
yes.
or maybe it was recently approved. I apologize, but they do have preliminary construction plans in for review that we have reviewed. But correct, their detention ponds will have to be installed before the actual development goes in.
Okay, that's
So we won't let them go to final plat and obtain approval or final plan until the detention ponds are under construction as well. So
We got our right of way? Do we have any right of way in this?
not here. No, sir.
Okay. No more discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Review and take action on Legacy Drive Street Dedication Phase Two, preliminary plat LJA, planning and landscape architecture. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, show it to be unanimous. Item G, review and take action on Legacy West Boulevard Street Dedication Phase One, preliminary plat, LJA, planning and landscape architecture. Do I hear a motion? Motion. Second. Got a motion, a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, show it to be unanimous. Item H, review and take action on Legacy Lake A preliminary plat LJA planning and landscape architecture. Do I hear a motion? Motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion, a second. Discussion?
These are the plats coming up or the plats for the detention ponds, right?
Yeah.
Do we anticipate any big changes in those in the final?
No, sir.
Okay, I didn't think.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, show it to be unanimous. Review and take, item I, review and take action on Legacy Lake B preliminary plat, LJA planning and landscape architecture. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Got a second?
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Show it to be unanimous. J, review and take action on Legacy Lake C preliminary plat, LJA planning and landscape. Fair motion.
Motion.
Go second. Got a motion, second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I'd like to ask the board for K through R. Has anybody got any comments on these? Otherwise, I'd like to address all of them together.
Motion to set phase three on.
Do I have a second? Got a motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Yes. Review and take action on 518 Massa Plaza Phase Two Final Drainage Plan. Daniel Scott Engineering reviewed by WGA Consulting. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to.
I'll second it. Motion is second. Discussion.
This is,
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
You got it?
Scott.
Scott, give us a rundown.
This is the detention for this lot was provided in Hunters Creek development, and obviously Masa Sushi, that development was developed back in 2012, 2013. And this is just the final piece of it.
And they're grandfathered under TP 40 because of that?
Yes, sir.
All the water, the parking lot stuff's gonna go to the pond,
Right.
the existing pond.
Yeah, we're tied into the existing underground storm for Massa Plaza for the, it ties in the middle of Hunter's Creek Lane. And then it conveys it to the pond. And then extreme event will get into the same road and sheet flow through the detention pond.
And like I said, this is grandfathered in under TP 40 standards, correct?
Correct.
Any other discussion, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, so it's unanimous. B, consider authorizing an interlocal agreement with the city of Friendswood for Quaker Landing Drainage Improvement Plan. I'll make the motion to approve. Second. Discussion. Scott, you made some comments on it? Did you? On that interlocal agreement, did you have some, or did you just forward me something?
I think I just forwarded you a response from Centerpoint a while back. I was good with it, yeah.
Sam, you got anything to tell us other than you like working with us?
Let's go.
Go ahead,
So
Rusty.
we're funding this project, on this interlocal, also make sure we're funding this project in full. Our responsibility is pretty much everything. I just want to point out that, Sam, I hope we're working good together because we have all the liability, all the culpability, all the financing, all everything on the line. So hopefully we move quickly on this and we don't have any hiccups or anything to cost the district any more money. I think, Robert, we talked about this a little bit. It's a project where I believe kind of both of us have acquired land in that area. Lots. And it should be a good flood control project down there, getting towards the southern end of our district. But I also want to make sure it's smooth with the city. So we're going forward.
Well, in defense of the city, historically, our responsibility has always been able to move the water out of the streets and subdivisions. And the responsibility of the district, y'all's expertise is drainage.
Right.
So I know you think that you're taking on all, we're jumping into areas of interest that we've never delved into. So in that defense, but we love working with you guys. Y'all move faster than we can and way, way faster than Harris County can. And we love working with the district.
I just want to make sure that I'm good with that. I just want to make sure we really click a log on this one when we get going. Yes.
I would just like to note that we've run into a couple of hiccups with Centerpoint, and the city's been very, very, very helpful. So really appreciative of that.
I'd like to thank the city for that. And since we're doing the project with the city of Friendswood, is there any Centerpoint people in here? Good. If we were to do it on our own, we would have to pay to mess with the gas lines and stuff. Since city is involved and they have a contract with Centerpoint, we don't have tariff agreements and things like that. We're saving a whole lot of money for our constituents to get this done and to store quite a bit of water down there and keep it out of the houses in Quaker's Landing. So that's the important thing to remember.
And this is that level area, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You know where you come down Quaker and that light goes to the creek? Taking that and dropping it all down.
Yeah. There's also that other creek that kind of commingles in there with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sam, that's the things I'm talking about, Robert, is making sure that the technicalities and the things that y'all can't really help us on.
Yeah.
Do so we can click along, and not waste any time or any money.
Well, that staff over there will jump through hoops to help you.
Okay, that's good.
They've always done that.
That's true.
Phil and all those guys, they'll jump through the hoops.
That's one thing I can say is that since 08, until today, the city and the district has been working as one. And it's always been like that.
Any other comments? Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, show it unanimous. Is there anything on the consent agenda y'all want to pull off or change? If not,
I'd like to talk about the DC bill.
is that on the consent agenda?
It is.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Joseph, I wanted to ask you specifically about, so is there anybody from DC here?
No.
Anybody? Wouldn't mind every once in a while, but this is gonna be a superintendent or somebody from DC being here to talk about some of this work. I know you're inspecting it, but just to talk about it and to let us know, give us a report about the progress of the work, what's going on, just more meticulous. Because when we're talking about the amount of money that we spend with them, I think it's important for us, the taxpayer, to hear more from DC. And one of our biggest contractors in the area about these projects that everybody sees going on, whether it be Castlewood, behind the Baptist Church, Cowers Creek, Chicker Creek, whatever it may be. But there's some big stuff going on. This is a big number, and I want people to make sure they understand what we're spending money on and why stuff's being done, even beyond sometimes what we can convey. Since we're not there every day, I know we all go out to projects, but we're not there like you are, like they are, especially.
Is there anything specific maybe I can answer? Because I do a lot with them daily.
Yeah, I'd like for somebody to be here once in a while, superintendent or somebody, you know, a meeting a month or maybe
Somebody that knows the answers,
somebody who's
not
not,
superintendent, then
how about the owner?
I can get Dwight to come.
That'd be great. That'd be even better.
And you know, how often do you want him to go?
anytime it's over $250,000.
That'd be nice. Well, if he wants to come once a quarter, just to give, if it's not that much, just to kind of just brief us on,
Yeah, I know, he'll be more than happy to
that'd
come.
be awesome. Thank you.
Consent agenda, so moved.
Approved.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed. Operations manager, item 7, Joseph, you have the floor.
It slowed down a little bit with the rain, so
I stopped.
at the Baptist church over there, they did finish the slow paving. And they're working on what we call the Kroger ditch that comes under 2351. Currently, it comes under 2351, it makes a 90-degree turn. It goes along 2351, then another 90-degree turn. So what we're doing, we're putting in it, and it's a V, it's just like a shoe. So what we're doing is we're coming in and putting a 12-foot bottom in it. It'll dissipate the flow and widen that out, and they started on it last week, and then it started raining, so it shut them down. We did get a lot of the areas hydro mulch, and I know if you look on the north side of 2351, you can see a bunch of it starting to come up, so it should really take off now with this rain. Mowing crew, they've been staying busy here and there, you know. Seemed like when we got a little bit of rain, the blue stem took off growing like crazy, so they've been keeping up with that. And then our general maintenance contractors, we've been working on, you know, remember a while back when we did the drone footage and I pointed out all the brown trees and all the dying trees? Well, now we're working on starting to take a bunch of them out because with the rain and little wind, they're just coming down. And so that's what we're working on now. And one other thing, on December the 1st, we'll have our Christmas party here.
Any questions for Joseph? Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So, Kathy?
No report.
Yep, we got the final report back from WGA on the Whitaker Basin, so should be good to go on that. We're working on finalizing the outfalls. They recommend some open channel connections and outfalls versus pipe. So we're gonna make those connections and then get the core permanent exhibits together and get that complete. So look to have that in the next month. Obviously, we had a lot going on in the past 2-3 weeks review wise. See how many projects we're doing. OJ did a great job submitting that stuff. So Dan Baum's done a great job on the construction side too. We have the construction, some of the preliminary plans in for review. So it's moving along. Been a busy time on the review side. So.
Any questions for Scott?
Can you send over that final report?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I had them revise it, so they just sent back yesterday. Ma'am.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
We haven't seen that yet, have we?
No. Sorry, I had them clarify something. They just sent a revision back yesterday, so I need to review it.
Council liaison, Robert?
Joseph, I just wanted to mention, I had to take out 2 big old pines in my front yard and I'm losing another one. And then we lost that legacy oak over at Hanson Jones Masonic Lodge. It was stressed anyway, and then that drought just killed it.
Yep.
But hey, the city is doing a lot of wonderful things. I don't know if y'all been up and down downtown, but the Friendswood Economic Development Corporation has really geared up and started going with all their uplighting and the new poles that are going in over there. They're a faux wood color. And of course, TxDOT's finished or almost finished up. They've got a couple of little places where they're fixing some sidewalk ways and stuff like that, especially on Castlewood. But it's all going in, and we entered into an amendment to our agreement with the Economic Development Corporation to go ahead and finish it all the way to Stevenson Park. It was going to stop at Castlewood. So that's, if you get a chance to drive by, it's not lit yet, and you won't be able to see that, but you just, if you would, start noticing it. And if you like it, say something. If you don't say anything. So I've already got some calls in regards to the color of the poles, but Sam gave us an update on the drainage, and she's here, so I'm not going to step on her thunder. We are looking at a huge development over there on the Whitcomb property, and that's gearing up. We're going to be having a financial planning session here to figure out how we can do some infrastructure for the development, either or a combination of a pit and a TERS, a public investment district, and a tax increment revenue zone. And we're going to be really diving in pretty deep on that to see if we can get that development moving. It's going to be approximately a $700 million value increase to the city of Friendswood. So we're going to be looking at that real hard. And for digging in Whitcomb property and terracing, we got the $10 million from Greg Bonin. So we're fired up about that. That terracing over there is going to happen. And that's pretty much my update for the council.
So I guess the next meeting, if you want to add me to the agenda, I'll give the presentation I just gave it on council.
That'd be great.
The main items I was gonna mention, the city is working on the final version of the Deepwood and Frenchman's Creek interlocal agreements. I'm actually putting the exhibits together, and I think once we have that done, they're pretty much ready to send over. For you to do that. And then we've been working with the developer for the Wickham property to jointly work on the offline detention pond. They're looking at oversizing their pond so that it would help to mitigate for the terracing project. And then we've been talking with Harris County Flood Control District, and Kevin was in on the meeting as well, looking at kicking off the preliminary engineering report for the Wickham project. And there's a Texas Water Development Board meeting coming up. I would have to look up the date. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it's I don't know if it's either this week or next week.
Next week.
Next week, okay. So it's next week, but they will hopefully be officially providing the $10 million to Harris County Flood Control District, and then there's a little bit of paperwork that needs to be done on Harris County Flood Control District side, and that the preliminary engineering report should be ready. We should be ready to start working on getting the RFQ together for that, so we can officially kick it off.
Jim and I are coming to the meeting. We're going to bring one of those 8-foot blank checks, let them sign it for $10 million.
I guess the only other thing I'm going to mention is that the Friendswood Regional Detention Basin Project, it sounds like the next community meeting is probably going to be in early 2024. Probably February is my guess, but it's going to be about January.
Right.
It would be great if it's in January, but I realistically, it's probably towards the end of January or February. And at that meeting, they'll be presenting the alternative that has we looked at 3 different alternatives in the preliminary engineering report, but it's gonna be an offline detention pond. There are some archaeological sites and wetland sites that have to be avoided, so that kind of determines what the size of the pond is gonna be. And then, in order to keep moving forward, since we still have to go to the design phase for the entire project, we have a rough grading project that is going to construction here soon. They, I think November 16th or 17th, the commission report, they should be selecting the contractor to kick off the construction for that rough grading project. And then it'll probably be another month or 2 until they start moving dirt. So also early next year.
Samantha, could you give us an update on the master drainage plan? Where's it at?
So we are still waiting for FEMA to do a final review on the funding, the 650K or 660K that we should be receiving. And as soon as that's complete, we should be ready to get the RFQ together and out. I do want to meet with you to see, since we are needing the additional funding, if the commitment that we have agreed to in the interlocal agreement, if y'all are still good with that, or if we want to revise that.
We're good with the max of that.
Okay.
That's what we voted on or we agreed to. But I like that you got some outside money. I don't mind reducing how much we give you.
So we're interested in seeing what you were thinking, but we're really excited about that. We were thinking that would give us the availability to expand the scope a little bit so that we could look at areas outside of the floodplain that have drainage, because right now it's limited to the floodplain. And then potentially looking at some additional design storms that are Harvey sized or larger. That might be an opportunity as well.
That'd be nice. Are you gonna revise that and get that to us, some of that expanded scope?
I think we'll set up a meeting and kind of see what we both think that the expanded scope should be, and then we can get that.
I'd like to be in on that.
Please.
Okay.
I think it'd be prudent to address where we're talking about doing projects, Sam. In that master drainage plan, where we're talking about other sites where we've identified an opportunity, whether it be Baker Road, whether it be Bay Area.
Okay. It's a good.
Yeah. That would feed into the same thing we're trying to do. We'll only have to pay for it once.
Yeah, another thought that we had, is that it might be a good idea to look at smaller storms, like a 10-year, and looking at what it would take to buy out all the properties that flood in a 10-year event. Not immediately, but over time, or see if there's any low-hanging fruit. But yes, I think that's a really good idea to list properties that are areas that we think might be a good project.
Historically, Samantha, do y'all have that data where y'all can tell us address by address what flooded in a certain event at a certain level on a certain date?
FEMA does.
Did we get that information from the feds on that, Samantha? Address by address in our district or in the city of Friendswood?
Well, let me look and see what we have. I know that we have a lot of data from Harvey and Tropical Storm Allison, and even Beta on which storms,
What happened
which
with floods?
properties have flooded.
I don't want to.
Kevin, this is Hill,
me-
online here.
They will, like, when they do the base analysis, they should have, they'll start off doing a base condition. And then I'm sure to calibrate the model, they'll run historic events and that will give us a good idea of the properties that flood.
We did a lot of that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that we have that data from, you're right, from the Mediant report as well. So yeah, we have, well, maybe we can mention some of the.
I love what you're doing. I don't like that. I don't want to get into property acquisitions on let FEMA do that. And they can provide the report. I don't want to be a part of that.
Okay,
Now, maybe these guys want to, but I don't want to be a part of that. That's a road I don't want to go.
I think it'd be wise to look at like a 50-year storm event and see if
That's
we
okay.
can raise the structures that are being inundated instead of removing the properties. I mean, it would leave a tax base for the city and you get rid of the risk of the flood. Ultimately,
Just make them build.
ultimately, it's my opinion. The way we get out of damage is elevation, not by
That's
paint.
correct.
So.
Yeah.
I'd be
Never be able to
surprised
say
if they
no
had
water
that
information.
information. We've got to ask for
Not
some
flood.
specifics before. I'd be surprised if they had that, but we don't have to act on it, but I like to see it anyway.
Well, they're doing the buyout, so FEMA's got it already.
I'd like to see it though, just.
Yeah, they've got repetitive loss reports, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Regardless of what
I
happened or
don't,
not.
I don't know if we have a recent competitive loss report, but I can go back and look and see.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in their database, but the most important thing would just be if the finished floor of those structures have been observed, right? And we know what the
We have,
flood elevation was in that area.
actually, Rusty, I can send you,
Yeah,
I
that's the
have
analysis.
a map from Harvey that I believe shows all the properties that flooded.
What you're gonna find is what we found last time we looked at this. You guys drive up Blackhawk where they're widening their ditch there in Pearland and slope paving it even bigger. From Ike to Harvey, we saw different areas flooding. And I think it's based on the water that's coming into the creek. So I think the more we can detain and convey, keep it out of people's houses, regardless of what they do north of us, it's prudent for us to focus on here, getting the water and the volume out. And I'd rather spend money on that if we have a push. That's just my 2 cents.
We'll set up a meeting and we can kind of hash a lot of that out, what we want to put in the schedule.
On the matching drainage plan, when are we supposed to hear about that method of distribution? 650,000, 631,000.
So FEMA's doing a final review. We're guessing that it's probably gonna be about 6 months from where we're at. We don't have an exact date. Things move slowly. But yes. Okay,
It's all about perception for me. Police, great. The lead city engineer,
Redwood Planning.
here, Marcus isn't here for being Jerry.
I can be.
Well, go ahead.
We spent a lot of time hashing out the new development on 528. Just making sure everybody was on the same page with that. It looks to be a really interesting and profitable endeavor for our city. So we're excited to see that going. We gave them their zone change approval, went to city council, and I guess you guys approved that too. And then we also have the new subdivision. We gave conceptual approval to Wilderness Trails, or the estates at Wilderness Trails, basically with conditional approval that you guys approve the drainage on that. There's some issues with the drainage there, but other than that, it looks great. Those are the 2 big ones that have popped up over the last little while.
Any questions for B and Z? Marcus? No. League City Engineer, good morning, Kevin. My apologies, but I had an unexpected issue to handle this morning. Couldn't be here. Please express my apologies to the board and feel free to reach out if you have any questions, concerns. Matt Brown. Peggy,
Good morning.
regional flood correspondence.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you for the slight revision in the agenda listing. I do appreciate it. Several citizens ask me periodically why I don't talk more about League City. And so this clarifies it. But then on the other hand, I want to talk about League City very briefly. We will be having a special election. One of our city council members stepped down, John Bowen. And I would like to at least let you know, and if I can help in any way, because as development continues on the southwest side, we will have more League City citizens in your drainage district. I try as often as I can when I talk to city council and mayor to mention the meetings I attend and any feedback that they may be interested in. So unless there's an initiative on your part, whenever the new city council person is elected, and special election based on the agenda for the council meeting tonight is supposed to be January 13th, I will, along with introducing myself, talk very briefly about your organization and hopefully have more of an awareness as we go forward about the important part you played in helping us deal with drainage. There have been numerous meetings since we met last. I can't say that any of the milestones have been accomplished or there's been a lot of discussion. I will share with you, I was in DC over the last couple of weeks. And as we've talked about, there are all the challenges with the budget. We're talking about possibly another CR to get us through January and then another phase through February. So obviously anything to do with the WRDA bill, or anything that could possibly affect Texas coastal study is significantly impact on the budget discussions that are going on. There is a discussion in DC that it seems like Texas has requests for a lot of big dollar projects, and they're correct. We have the Texas coastal study in addition to having the Port of Houston request up there. And certainly those are both big dollar amounts. There is something that came up in the last week or so that I'll just share with you because I think it's interesting. And that is the sanctuary cities are now asking for federal reimbursement because of the impact of the influx of our immigration issues. However, now Texas is in the discussion. So the reason why supposedly some of the sanctuary cities are having the challenges they are is because Texas is busing people there. And so that just adds another interesting complexity to the discussion that we're trying to have, and that is to stay focused on the supply chain issue and everything that's important to us as a nation. I will be glad to answer any questions that you have. And again, thank you for including me on your agenda.
I have a question. Is there an effort to tie the issue of the busing of the immigrants to any potential funding for the coastal projects or the port?
Teresa, I think there's so much rhetoric right now. Just for everything. No, there's not. To me, it just adds another complexity to the conversation and raises the emotional level. And so when I told into any of those discussions, I simply say that we are focused on what's important for the nation, and it happens to be one of the projects we're supporting. But I suspect we'll hear a lot, unless we solve the border issue pretty soon. We're just going to hear more. Thank you.
Board of Directors.
Really quick, I just wanted to let everybody know that Texas Water Development Board meeting that's going to be in Houston is December 7th from 9:30 a.m. to noon at the Service Center, Michael Talbot Pavilion on 7522 Prairie Oak Drive. And they don't usually come here for board meetings, so it's kind of a big deal. They're going to be awarding money to Harris County Flood Control District, and I think it's a good place to mingle and meet people and talk flood.
If anybody else wants to attend, Jim and I'll attend, but if anybody else wants to go, we'll have to post it. It's time to meet some of the Harris County Flood Control people face to face rather than on the phone.
I'm sorry, what was the time and date of that meeting?
It is December 7th, 9:30 a.m. to noon.
Tor. Find anything else? Board of Directors, Teresa?
I would just like to mention our Baker Road facility also includes a city park, a City of Friendswood Park named for Lance Corporal Wesley Canning, 2002 graduate of Friendswood High School who was killed in action in Iraq in 2004. And over the Veterans Day weekend, a local citizen organized a beautiful display of flags at the site in observance of the anniversary, the 19-year anniversary of Wesley being killed in action. So it was just a really beautiful display at that facility that bears mentioning.
I don't have anything. Rusty.
Hey, I just want to, know we communicate different, but Rob, when I talk to you or Brent or anybody else or Samantha, thank y'all for y'all's work. And on that interlocal, I appreciate the fact, like I said, that y'all can click through the technicalities and the details so we can move along and not waste any time or any money getting that project done. I do want to continue to beat the drum. I was taught by Henry Winston in church, and he always told me it doesn't make it less so just because I tell you every year. And I want to make sure we focus, and I hope my board members will do this, focus on the southern part of our district as much as we can for conveyance projects. Because I think that is paramount to getting the water. We do some good work, but we got to get it out of here. And we're doing good work in some feeder creeks and some areas up north, and it's great. Then we do great work. Joseph does great work. However, it has to go somewhere. So we have to solve those issues and be creative in how we do it to focus in the south.
Bonnie?
Nothing other than I'm just happy to be here today.
Amen. Joseph, we had a tree down a couple weeks ago. That gone?
Oh, at Whitaker. I know they were trying to get to it and it's really wet, so
Okay.
it's on the list to get.
All right. I like our response time. Keep up the good work, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. We're going into executive session. Call the meeting to order. Executive session, the board of directors will convene into a closed meeting pursuant to the Texas Government Code 551-072 discussion regarding real property.
It's for running some numbers.
Kevin?
We got a lot of food to send orders, guys, so we don't take it all. We invite people, GLO.
Yeah.
Bring the GLO people.